your sight under the lights of Stamford Bridge. But this is no ordinary night. This is match day 37, the penultimate breath of the Premier League season that has up twisted dreams, broken giants, and rewritten the meaning of glory and despair. Chelsea, once king of Europe, now chasing shadows of the past. Yes, yet hope still flickers. One final push, one last hope stand, a win tonight, and the gates to the UEFA Champions League may crack open once again for the Blues and the Manchester United. The fallen empire, once the pride of England, now wading through unfamiliar waters. 16th on the table, brushes shoulders with relegation, but even in chaos, they remain. They carry a strange destiny. Next week, they play for a European crown in the Europa League final. So yet the stands, two titans brushed by time, yet not broken. Their rivalry sucked in history titles and thunder. But tonight it's about redemption, about belief, about writing a final chapter no one saw coming. It's Chelsea versus Manchester United. Not the title, but for pride, for hope, and for the right to dream again. With just 2 rounds of the Premier League season remaining, Chelsea fate remains in their own hand. Despite 2-0 defeat to fellow European chasers Newcastle last week, the Blues are still resized in the top 5, and they can go some way to tightening their grip on the UEFA Champions League qualification year ahead of a final day showdown against also European chaser Nottingham Forest. It's kick-started at the Stamford Bridge under the lights tonight, and it's Chelsea will be trying to get a victory over Manchester United. Yeah, let's see how it goes for the next 90 minutes. My name is Adiyem Shegu, and I'll be your host on this watch along in the studio of Premier Sport Fan Center, and we'll see together how the 90 minutes affairs of this game goes on tonight. Yes, it's started already, and it's Chelsea starting without Romeo Lavia in the midfield, and we'd like to see how Chelsea are really going to go all out against this Manchester United side tonight in this encounter. And also, we also have the game between Aston Villa and Tottenham currently going on at the Villa Park. Yes, that one is at the 45th minute, and it's currently 0-0 between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. As we're very close to halftime in that game, is 1 minute into additional time in that encounter. Let's see how Chelsea angle on this one against Manchester United. Still 0 early days into that encounter, just second minute into that game, and it's Manchester United who are coming to Stamford Bridge to try and see if they can, get crushed and get possibly 3 points against Chelsea and probably move themselves away from that 16th position they find themselves this season. It has really been a disappointing season for Ruben Amorim and his boys. But yes, who are we to play for Manchester United? Should it be Ruben Amorim? Should it be the board? Don't forget, we saw Sir Jim Ricksheffer also got hold of the Manchester United when he bought about 35% shares of that club coming into the season. Yes, we also saw Eric Ten Hag, the manager last season. He was also sacked from Manchester United. So this is one of the last games for Ruben Amorim this season as he prepares his world for the Europa League showdown between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry, that game comes up next week on the 21st of May. It promises to be a cracker, between the 15th team in the EPL and the 16th team in the EPL and the 17th team in the EPL. Both, surprisingly found themselves playing in the Europa League final. Before that game, we have to talk about this one between Chelsea and Manchester United. Yes, we're straight into the 3rd minute of that encounter. It's still 0-0 between the Blues and Manchester United. Going straight to the starting 11 of that encounter is Chelsea's goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez as the goalkeeper for Chelsea. Back for the captain, Reece James is back in the starting 11. We have Tosin Adarabioyo also in the Chelsea starting 11. A chance for Manchester United to go front in this encounter, but the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez will gather this comfortably for the Blues there, and we're straight into the 3rd minute with Manchester United showing force intention in this encounter. Beautiful cross into the box there, but the Chelsea defenders, yes, actually got a good hold of on that, and straight into the hands of Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Chelsea will start play right now. Returns it back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, who holds onto the ball for the Blues at the back there. A long one tries to play in Marco Correa, but that was too much for the Spanish international. And Chelsea will gather that. And Marco Correa back in possession, plays one straight into the path of Terry George. But the young Englishman couldn't get hold of that. Manchester United back in possession, trying to gain early momentum in this game and take the pressure to the Blues. Harry Maguire on the ball there finds his defense pair straight into the hands of Luke Shaw. Returns it back to Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire with a long one into the Chelsea half. Tries to play in the lone man striker for Manchester United. Ojlund, who has a Chelsea defender. Tossing to beat there, but Tossing did a good work on the Danish striker there. Yes, Chelsea, Moises Caicedo in the middle of the park. Going straight on the long ground there. Steals onto the ball. Switches wingers. Finds Cole Palmer. Kopama approaches on the Manchester United box. What with the England international who has 15 goals in the EPL. And that should be the first goal for Chelsea. But wasted chance there. Nani Madueke presented with a beautiful opportunity to break the deadlock at the 5th minute. But the England international chose to do otherwise and wasted on that effort. That should have been Chelsea's first goal. Beautiful sight there from Cole Palmer to play in the England international. He was free, almost free on goal there. And you expect him doing better from there, but he chose to sky it. Even Tyreek George was in a better position for a tap in there, but the England international went for glory, and in going for glory, he miskilled that, and that went crashing over the woodworks. And that was the real first chance for Chelsea in the 5th minute of this encounter as the Blues are coming all out against Manchester United in this one. 5 minutes gone in that game at Stamford Bridge. It's still 0-0. Between Chelsea and Manchester United. It's halftime in that one between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur is 0-0, with Aston Villa dominating the first 45 minutes, but that goal was hard for them to find in that encounter. Manchester United will break out against Chelsea. Mazzori on the ball there, tries to play in his teammate, but the Chelsea midfielder there, talking about Moises Caicedo, came to the rescue for the Blues there 6 minutes into this encounter. Still 0-0, who is going to break the first deadlock? Yeah. And yeah, he's Harry Maguire on the ball there. Chose to go back to Andrew Onana, the goalkeeper of Manchester United. Last time these two sides played at Old Trafford, it ended 1-1 with Moises Caicedo getting Chelsea a late goal against Manchester United, and that's one. Remember the last season game? Yeah, at Stamford Bridge. It was late drama in that encounter. Chelsea going victorious in that one. And 4-3, if I'm not mistaken, in that encounter. Yeah, he's a Manchester United midfielder. Casemiro with a long ground cross there, which gets straight into the path of Patrick Dogu. Patrick Dogu with the ball there, just to drop into the middle of the park. Manchester United taking the pressure to the Blues at the Stamford Bridge right now. And back into the middle of the park. It's still Manchester United who are enjoying possession right now. Patrick Dogu on the ball there. Will he favor a cross, but still holds onto the ball. Drops a short one there with Manchester United trying to get himself into the Chelsea's box. And Chelsea having the chance of their own, but still not really tidy on the touch there. Lindelof on the ball there, drops it into the middle, finds the captain, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes switches position and finds Patrick Dogu. Dogu will cross into the box with that beat straight into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez will gather that to reduce the pressure on the Blues in the early stages of this encounter. We've seen 7 minutes of action at Stamford Bridge. Yes, Robert Sanchez on the ball there, drops it into the middle of the park, and you can see Cole Palmer coming real deep there to win possession for Chelsea. Lindelof gathers that to Manchester United as beats off the pressure from the Chelsea winger, Nani Madueke, in that situation. Returns it back into the fence there. Is Harry Maguire on the ball for Manchester United. And the England international finds Luke Shaw, who is having a rare start for Manchester United. Looks into the midfield and finds his teammate. And yes, Manchester United attacking against Chelsea in this encounter as they look to break out the Blues in this one. Also, Mason Mount, the former Chelsea player, is also starting for Manchester United in this encounter. He'll be looking to get a goal against his former employers. And also in the studio, I have two great men joining me. Sorry. And I can see Yemite donning the Chelsea jersey tonight. Yemite, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Shagun. It's been a while. And let's see what we'll... But I'm surprised seeing Manchester United bring out a strong lineup against Chelsea.
This is also a strong Chelsea lineup.
And no, Chelsea will want to chase this game because they have something they are playing for in the league. But Manchester United practically has nothing they are playing for any longer.
And there's the Europa League final coming up next week.
And there's the Europa League final coming up. So I think maybe they just want to get all 3 points and give their fans something. Okay,
that is very much possible. And we also have the dog in the studio. Congratulations, the dog. Barcelona also won the La Liga title. It's really, really a big congratulations for Hansi Flick and the Barcelona fans.
Thank you very much, Shagun. It's always nice being here with you. Always nice running this. And to the fans out there and viewers, thank you for joining us. And I'm so glad to be here. Chelsea, Man U, yes, we're going to talk about it. Of course, none of them is going to win the league anymore, but Chelsea can get themselves into Champions League spot, and that makes it easy for them. The next season gives them a lot of revenue as well as increased fan base, fan support. United, on the other hand, is possibly playing for honor here, and if United can go on and win the Europa, they can as well get a ticket into the Champions League. So for them, they have options to getting into the Champions League, whether through the back door or the side door, whichever way they can make it in. But parading their full squad here is a lot of risk for them. And should any major player get injured here, that gives Tottenham Hotspur an edge over them. But I see what United is trying to do. There's so much complaint about their performance this season. It's been woeful, to say the least. They're sitting on number 15, 16th of on the league table, and just 2 steps above relegation zone. By points, they themselves and Tottenham are just staying in that position. They actually should be competing for relegation, but this, and funny enough, the 2 of them are fighting for Europa. Right now they're fighting for the trophy, and should any of them win, they go and play Champions League.
Okay, as the Manchester United are used to that. Yes, last season they got into the Europa League by winning the FA Cup, and Chelsea relegating straight into the Conference League, where Chelsea are also making it straight to the final of the Conference League. They have a date with Real Betis on the 28th of March, so that also promises to be another interesting final in the Conference League. Don't forget, the UEFA Champions League final is between Inter Milan and PSG, while the Europa League final is between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. It was straight into the 11th minute of this encounter. Early stages in this game, seems like it's Manchester United who are seeing more of the balls in this game.
Yeah, it looks like Manchester United is coming on attacking. But what I fail to understand is why the Chelsea lineup is not strong enough the way I presume it should. Why is this guy on the bench?
Trevor Chalobah.
Romeo Lavia, the guys that have been solid at the back for Chelsea. I don't know. It's not as if Chelsea has an important game this coming week. I don't understand, but let's just see how it goes.
Okay, Chelsea without their star striker Nicholas Jackson, who picked up a red card against Newcastle, and will be missing the next 2 matches in the EPL. That is this game in the match day 37 and the last game of the league season. Talking about that game against Nottingham Forest. Underdog, that was an unnecessary red card for Nicholas Jackson against Newcastle. Will it be a big miss for Chelsea coming into the end of the season?
Of course, it should be in this match. Chelsea doesn't have a strong replacement for him. Nkoko, we know, is not an out-and-out striker.
Is he also injured?
He's also injured, so there's nobody deputizing for Jackson here. A weak Jackson is still something the defenders worry about. But when you don't have him at all, they can smile home and be free to join the attack. And that's one of the reasons possibly why the central defenders of United is playing 3 men in the defense line right now. So their wingers are actually free to run on Chelsea, and which is one of the errors because they don't have a striker that will put pressure on their central defense. And yes, he shouldn't have committed that foul. It was a very, very unnecessary tackle he made. It could have been a mistake, but I think it was a thing of reflex for him when he did, but that's going to work against them. If Chelsea loses this match, a lot will come back to Jackson.
Okay, all expectation will be on 19 years old Tyreek George, a winger for Chelsea, but he has to make do playing as a makeshift striker for the Blues tonight. Looking at Chelsea's starting 11, Robert Sanchez remains the goalkeeper for the Blues, and in defense is Reece James, the captain, who is back in the starting 11. We also have Tosin Adarabioyo, who came in for Trevor Chalobah, who has been relegated to the bench for this encounter. We also have Levi Colwill and Marco Correa making the back four for Chelsea in this encounter. Is the midfield 2 on the pivots. We have Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, while up front is Noni Madueke, who is playing on the left wing, and Pedro Neto playing on the right wing, and Cole Palmer playing in the middle of these 2 players. And up front is the Loma striker Tyreek George for Chelsea. Looking at the starting 11, seems there's no attacking threat for Chelsea in the box of Manchester United in this encounter. Looking at the starting 11.
It just to the testament of the red card, unnecessary red card Jackson took. Whenever Jackson is on or not on the field, Chelsea's struggle going forward is really obvious. When he was out injured, you could see how Chelsea was struggling to get him. So you are that kind of a player, and you intentionally elbow a player to the neck. It doesn't make sense. And you see, every game is like it's just one mistake away from getting a red card. Back to back to back. I don't know what's wrong, but I don't think Jackson is a guy that Chelsea can rely on for a whole season.
Okay, yes, there'll always be the talk of Victor Osimhen. Fantastic season he's having with Galatasaray, and there's also talks of Icarus. But at the end of the day, it boils down to the wages of those guys. Chelsea are not ready to pay 12 million pounds, after tax, and they are not ready to pay, big money for any striker. Looking at the maybe let me say the low budgets, the lap and the likes of Benjamin Sesko, who there's also a
Benjamin is not low. Yeah, he's not.
yeah, I'll still look at him as a low budget because it doesn't really cost much, and he should be able to fit into that Chelsea's budgets of striker or for a player they are looking
Salary.
for. Yeah, salary structure. Well, you still can put him in the in that profile of Victor Osimhen and the likes of Victor Icarus.
Yeah, it depends on what Chelsea want really, because if you want to win immediately, you need proven goal scorer. Look at Manchester United going for Victor Osimhen. You cannot be a successful team with that silly, in my own word, silly wage structure they are talking about. It doesn't make sense to me. Except you want to become another team that keeps building and selling off and go like 20 years without them winning the league like Arsenal has gone through right now.
Okay, well, how did it work for Barcelona? Because Barcelona looking at the squad, lot of under 19s, lot of under 20 players, but the way they healed them together, the way they all join or mix together, and 1 year is the league, 2 in 3 years.
Yes, and that's because of the
And
strength.
we have the first goal in that encounter is Manchester United, who surprisingly has broken the deadlock. Harry Maguire coming from the fence to break up to score the first goal for Manchester United in the 16th minute. You can't say it's less than the 7th goal for Manchester United because of being the better of these two sides in the opening 16 minutes of this encounter. What a way to start this game, and what a way for Manchester United to break the deadlock in this encounter. It's Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0 at the Stamford Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, for Barca example, they have a very rich academy. And the strength of that Barca team since 1992,
Would that not be
94.
chalked off offside? Well, let's see. Looks like Harry Maguire was fingered up in the offside position there. Let's see if the referee allows that.
I think
Was
it's
Harry
going to-
Maguire on
I
an own
think it's
goal?
going to be
Let's see
offside.
that. Let's see that again. If it's an own goal, probably it stands. Oh, this should be an offside.
It should be an
This should be
offside.
chalked off as an offside for Manchester United. But it's a wake-up call to the Chelsea defense.
I don't know if it will be an offside yet, but because you have to look at Marco Carella too on that line. But let's just see what the referee. Thank God for the new technology that will actually
Yeah.
measure that.
So VAR might end up solving the problem, but I think
I think he's way off.
it
He's
will
way
likely
in
go-
offside. This should be chalked off as an
will
offside.
likely go against United here. Scores might be level again one more time.
I think that if it is an offside, it will just be a minor.
Yeah, I can see his hands. I can see his hands from the
No,
screen.
hands is not part of the offside. It's the shoulder.
Okay, wait to see the referee decision. Will it be chalked off as offside? And the
It's an
referee
offside.
says it's an offside. Yeah, Harry Maguire was in that offside position. Chelsea have the yeah, it's his hands.
It's the shoulder.
Is it shoulder or the hands?
It's the shoulder.
Okay.
See, that's the line. The hands is not
No,
part of
Harry
it.
Maguire's legs are way
Just
Yeah.
the
behind
edge
the
of
guy.
the boot and the shoulder.
Yeah.
So that's just Chelsea being lucky.
Okay, that Manchester United goal in the 15th minute has been chalked off by VAR, adjudged to be an offside call against Harry Maguire. And you can see the Chelsea goalkeeper, yes, having it, having a belief that yes, the gods let him out there. Yes, Manchester United, but that should be a wake-up call to the Blues in this encounter. They need to grow into this game. 17 minutes into this encounter, it's Manchester United who are playing like they are the home side in this game.
Yeah, they are playing like. I think that maybe this starting 11 caught Chelsea unaware. Maybe they had thought they would be like Liverpool that rested some key players. But this is a strong lineup, and I think the coach should have prepared for this. But at the end of the day, let's just see who will take.
The truth is, Maresca has the opportunity to change players after some time. He brought in some players that might not click well in the midfield. We need to see certain midfielders come in to change this game and move the ball forward. Is Cole Palmer on the field?
Yeah, Kokoma is on the field.
What is this?
There's a big problem in this encounter.
What is this from this goalkeeper?
Looking straight at Manchester United starting 11 in this encounter.
Wow.
It's Andre Onana who is the goalkeeper for Manchester United. The back three of Victor Lindelof Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw in the middle of the park is a packed midfield for Manchester United. Masaori, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Patrick Dogu. Up front is the Amadiallo, Mason Mount, the former Chelsea midfielder, and a Loma striker. We have we have Ojlon up front for Manchester United in this account. And also earlier on, just confirmed that Bournemouth defender Hodgson has joined the Real Madrid. What a big signing for Real Madrid. But looking at the player structure, how will he cope with the La Liga?
Yeah, when you look at the La Liga, you see that it is not as high intensity as the Premier League. So with the player structure, the way they play from the back, if you check Austin very well, is one of the reasons why Alonso actually tilted towards him was because he could comfortably play from the back, the three at the back kind of way. And Bournemouth too, I realize he's a Spanish manager. So when you check the way Bournemouth to set up, not that tacky side, but strong fluid side. So I think Hodgson, they've got themselves a very, very good centre back.
What about you, Doc?
Well, I took a look at the young man's performance. He's a developing guy. He's an expert in his role, and he helped Bournemouth a lot in the season. He can help Real Madrid, but he needs to adjust to Real Madrid and Spanish football. Spanish football is different from Premiership. In Premiership, you can get away with a lot of things. In the Spanish La Liga, you'll be punished for your mistakes, especially if you can't pass properly. You'll be punished. You can't just keep dipping ball and sending balls away to the opponent. They will punish you. But he will learn that as he goes, I guess. He has pre-season to do with them. He has the specialists to train him and also to understand who he's going to be playing with. He has a couple of defenders he can learn from. The Brazilian defender is there, weakening out, and you have Asensio there coming up. You also have
Rudiger also.
Rudiger there too, so he has enough people to show him the ropes. Let's hope he can cope when those guys are down, because of course some of them will be down very soon, and they will need to replace themselves. So that's natural in football, but the young man has a future. He has a hope. Let's hope he can survive and not be like.
There's a chance for Manchester United with a breathe goal.
And then Hazard went there as a prime, and I'm not sure he played.
And Hazard was injured.
And I'm not sure he played half a season for Real Madrid in his 2 or 3 seasons that he spent there. So let's hope he doesn't end up like that.
But I don't think that La Liga is a more tougher.
La Liga is not as physical as Premiership, but
so
La Liga is more
and
technical than Premiership.
If you see Dean very well, you watch him closely, he's more technical than a player with the strength.
So he shouldn't have been in Premiership in the first place.
I think he came in from what's it called, from the Italian Serie A, from Roma, if I'm not mistaken, straight to Bournemouth. He played at Roma under Jose Mourinho. Let's see how it goes for him out of Real Madrid. They'll come next season, where Xabi Alonso will be the manager of Real Madrid come next season. Carlo Ancelotti has joined up with the Brazil national team, and he should be resuming come May ending when his contract ends with Real Madrid. And back into the Chelsea game, because like I said in the 17th minute, that goal was chucked off, and still Chelsea who are struggling to get a hold of on this account. Cole Palmer, loose ball in the middle of the park. Sorry, that was Enzo Fernandez who lost that into the part of Manchester United. And Manchester United will attack against Chelsea. Amad Diallo on the ball. The Ivorian returns it back into the heart of the fence, where he finds Lindelof. Lindelof straight into the part of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire looks inward into the midfield and finds the former Chelsea midfielder there. What's it called? Miss him out there. He has Manchester United attacking against Chelsea, looking for the first goal in this one. Tries to play in into the part of Patrick Dogu, and you ask yourself the question, what was the Chelsea captain doing there? And Pedro Neto losing the ball. I can't really count how many times he has lost on that ball in the middle of the park. Looks like there's a lot of pressure on the Chelsea boys, because the cohesion is not there. Just playing, 1 or 2 loose balls everywhere on the pitch.
I think what is happening is these guys are struggling to settle down with a new setup entirely. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like all these overthinkers of the manager. Now, these guys, it's very obvious that they are struggling with that new arrangement. They've been more suited with that, Casedo playing from the right back and just coming into the middle and all. They've
I don't think I
settled
said
it.
it's also not a right back.
Yeah, but look at the 3 games Chelsea won back to back. You see that they played comfortably. They build up from the back comfortably with that setup. And when you look at Newcastle, Chelsea played better even one man down. Chelsea, if there was a proven goal scorer, Chelsea would have either equalized or won that game. And Noni with a cross into the box. Oh.
So, yes, a stretch shot!
Oh, my
What a
goodness.
strike there from Reece James. And that would have cracked the back of the net, but went wide of the goal post. What a rare opportunity, a rare chance for Chelsea in the early stages of this account. It was straight in the 25th minute of the match. A half volley there from the Chelsea captain. And that would have, went so straight into the woodwork there.
That
What
was a
chance for
beautiful
Chelsea.
shot.
Powerful shot there from Reece James. That was destined for the back of the net. I don't think the goalkeeper was going to get a hand on that.
No, the goalkeeper had no solution to it. He was diving on the floor without water, and Rich James' ball was all over the place. He just stopped, luckily, by the woodwork, the upright. And I think if Chelsea continues to strike this way, they're going to get the result very soon. United has been attacking a lot, and if you look at the statistics, United has had more possession, about 63%, but Chelsea's 30-something% as it is. But Chelsea seem to be waking up. Once in a while, they just do those long passes. Caicedo starts it, Enzo collects it, and then they head into the flank. And if they keep getting that into the 18 of United, they may get something. But Amado Diallo, I've not seen him perform in this team. I think he's been rather dull in this game.
Yeah, it's
More,
just coming back.
more work or more input has been coming from the left flank of the field.
Patrick Dogo. Again,
Yeah,
looking
no,
straight at
Patrick
the Aston
Dogo.
Villa against Tottenham game. That game is in the 54th minute. It's still 0-0 at the Villa Park as Stein stands in that one. And yeah, we also have the starting 11 for Aston Villa. It's Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper. Matkash as the right back. Konsa, Pau Torres, and Ian Mason starting as the back four for Aston Villa. In midfield, we have Onana and Kamara. While up front is Magin, Asensio, and Rojas. While a Loma striker, Oli Watkins, starts up front for Aston Villa. For Tottenham Hotspur, we have the goalkeeper Kingsley, who is starting over the first choice goalkeeper in this account. Spencer, Danso, Davies, and Rugillion makes the back four for Tottenham Hotspur. Yellow carded Ashley Gray is one of the midfielders. We also have Patrick Papa Matassa, who has been substituted in this encounter. I think that's to be injury with Bisoma replacing him in this encounter. In middle up front, we have a more Odobet and the captain Yumi Son, and Loma striker is the on loan Bayern Munich winger Tell, starting up front for Tottenham Hotspur in this encounter. Talking about Tell, there were a lot of talks during that transfer window where Chelsea was all over him. A lot of Chelsea fans, after seeing YouTube compilations, wanted him at Chelsea, but it hasn't really worked that magic since joining Tottenham Hotspur. I don't even know why you're laughing.
Compilation for me. YouTube. You see,
It has a way. YouTube has a way of making a
You
player
look
look.
It's just about the press,
yeah,
Just
it's just the
pay
views
the right
they
people.
want. So they need something that will attract people to come and view, and you can't blame them.
I've tried
for
to focus
doing
on
that.
Tell since joining Tottenham Hotspur. I've not really
I've
seen
not
anything
seen
that has
any
wooed
big
me
deal in
about
that.
it.
That
And
looks
that's
like
one
the
reason I'm
YouTube.
really scared of our brother coming to join us very soon. Estevio coming to join Chelsea.
But
coming
one
this
thing
season.
about
when I look at
Estavio-
Hendrick also at Real Madrid,
see, if you check it out, check Estavio live at Palmares. That is not YouTube.
Okay.
That guy is one hell of a
What's that?
footballer. He's a
And that's a corner
different
kick for Chelsea. Cole Palmer winning Chelsea corner kick right there in the 28th minute. His shot was either deflected there by Manchester United defender. And you can see Chelsea picking up loose ball in the middle of the park. Cole Palmer turning through in the middle and taking up a shot against Andre Onana. I think there's one belief for the Chelsea players whenever they get close to the Manchester United box, I'll take a shot because they know the man who is in the goalpost for Manchester United is always likely to concede a goal. He's the one of Lam Masia's products.
Yeah. You see, one of the things also you have to look at here is that Chelsea is not confident to hold the ball that long. So they want to take a shot as soon as possible, possibly build this confidence a little later and see what can happen. Chelsea has quite some
Why are they
good
not
chances.
putting that into the back of the
for
shout
somebody's-
for penalty
Yeah,
there, but the
somebody's
referee
asking for a
says no
handball.
there. I think
Let's
VAR will
hope
be
it's not
having a
like
check
Real
on that.
Madrid and Barca
That
here.
was the Manchester United striker was talking
When
about.
people stretch out their hands
I
and
see
the
that again.
referee says no foul.
Oh,
That's
I
a
think it's
penalty.
more. I think it's more.
Oh,
That's
they
a
didn't.
penalty.
They didn't blow it
No,
for.
the
They
hand
didn't
is
blow
there.
it against Real
we check
Madrid.
that.
You see, that's a penalty.
Is that not in natural position there?
It's not in the natural.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
There's a
they-
VR
It's
chance
outside
shots
the
for
body.
They are going to
penalty
call
from
it a
Chelsea fans
natural
here.
position.
And we
That's
have
not a
VR
natural-
reviewing that.
Shagun, that's exactly the kind of ball that Chouameni handed. In the 18, in the 6-yard box, his hand was this way. The ball
And
hit
the
him there.
referee says
And they
no,
said
no,
natural
please.
position.
It's not a penalty.
It's not a
Yeah, just like I
penalty.
said, his hand was natural position. It's not like he took his hand to meet the ball. His hand was already, stretched out before the ball jumped into his path. That's Manchester United being let out there or
I
being
guess that's a new rule in
accepted
penalty.
helped out there by the VAR and the referee. Yeah, I think that situation is really going to cause a lot of controversies. Come tomorrow when we have the referees and review and what VAR actually thought about that penalty appeal from the Chelsea players. And back in play, Marco Correa on the ball for Chelsea, one of the impressive players for the Blues on this season. He has always been Mr. Consistent for the Blues in this season's EPL. And yeah, he's a Palmer with the ball. He should be dropping that for Madueke there, but chose otherwise there. And back is Manchester United who retains possession. Moses Caicedo wins possession for Chelsea. And yes, Chelsea sending it straight onto the path of Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the ball there. Will he be able to beat his man? Tries, steps over and sends it across into the box. There's a chance, but Manchester United are going to win all area duels there. Yes, Manchester United looking to break out on the counter against Chelsea. Levakovic to the rescue for the Blues. And it's Manchester United's throwing in the 30th minute of this encounter. We've seen half an hour of football at Stamford Bridge. Still no goal to report in this encounter. And looks like, yes, both teams are finally getting to size each other up in this encounter.
Yeah, it seems the two teams are now, especially Chelsea, are now settling into the game, but they are still struggling with the balls. The chances they had is due to the mistakes that Manchester United are making defensively. Now they need a proper build-up. And I still think I need another check for that penalty. For me, I think it should.
Okay, but even if you're looking at Chelsea taking advantage of United errors, United has been taking advantage of Chelsea errors too to get to the 18-yard. Most of the time, if your opponents don't make errors, you can't get the ball from them in the midfield. So it happens in that way. We don't have to take it all from Chelsea. They're not building. Maybe they are not playing Barcelona type of passing, or but they're doing what they can under the circumstance, and I think they are lacing the passes together. They made about 5-6 passes before Madueke gets the ball into the 6-yard box for a cross, and that's fair enough. So if they continue
that looks
to
intentional to me there.
play that way,
I think that would be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. So Bruno Fernandes for that kick out of Moises Caicedo in the middle of the park. If there's one man who is very used to having yellow cards, getting red cards in a game of football, it has to be Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain.
yeah,
It's the
he's
32nd
registered
minute.
himself here for one.
My biggest problem in this game has been Chelsea, where they just kick all those balls out of safety and invite
Chelsea
pressure
is
onto
definitely not
themselves
playing well,
in this
but
encounter.
so United has not ever been a good team too. If they are good, they'll be on 16th of the league table, behind Bournemouth, behind Brighton and Hopes, behind every team that is like.
And Aston Villa has taken the lead.
Yeah, we have the first goal in that game between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur in the 59th minute. It's Konsa, the defender, the centre back for Aston Villa, breaking the deadlock in that one. It's a well-deserved goal for Aston Villa, and the pressure continues for the top 5 in the EPL as it stands right now.
That's
So
Onana
let's see,
saving
yes,
balls.
Onana,
You guys
yes,
are not praising him
Andre
for such.
Onana getting
for
hand
such
onto that.
saves.
The cross there from Pedro Neto will be turned Dogu, but straight into the hands of Andre Onana. I think that was even going out there.
Yeah, that was going out.
Well, you gotta start the Cameroon International. Put the ball down
Oh,
there.
Andre,
Manchester United are still
Andre,
looking
my man.
probably to go into the market and get another goalkeeper. Andre
I
Onana
think
is
that's
not
one of
reliable.
the-
Bednich is also not reliable. Bednir, or what's his name, is also not reliable for Manchester United. Chelsea we attack right now. Cole Palmer on the ball in the middle of the park, releases, then drops it straight into the path of Noni Madueke. Madueke will approach the Manchester United box, as the Lindelof to beat, and finds himself in the box. He crosses into the box there. But Tyreek Judge couldn't get hold of that, and it's Casemiro who came to the rescue for Manchester United. It's going to be a corner kick to Chelsea, second one in this encounter. Look at that inviting cross there from the Chelsea winger, but couldn't get the Chelsea player to get on the finishing touch on that. It's a corner kick. Pedro Neto standing on this, the Portuguese international. It's done in the jersey number 7 for Chelsea, famously won by the likes of Ramirez and also N'Golo Kante, who won the Saudi Arabia Pro League, yes, with Al Ittihad over the weekend. What a season they had in that in that part of the world, the Saudi Arabia Super League. Here's the corner kick to Chelsea. The tall guys are in the box there, waiting to get a touch of that, and the referee allows place to continue. And here's Moises Caicedo trying to get a shot on target for Chelsea, and Cole Palmer with the ball. He should be releasing that earlier, because I think Noni Madueke was in a better position to get onto that ball earlier in that situation. And here's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. Is it a corner kick? I think the referee says it should be a goal kick. It should be a goal kick. Harry Maguire coming to the rescue for Manchester United there. It's 34th minute of this encounter. And we can also see, Nicholas Jackson looking from the bench and feeling like, yes, I should be on the pitch. Probably I'll have gotten about 5 chances, Sky and Chelsea fans. Yeah, no, he can't play. He's on loan for Manchester United. He's on loan for Manchester United. I'm talking about Jadon Sancho. Yes, there's opportunity, or there's a chance of Chelsea sending him back to Manchester United and paying that 5 million windfall, or should they pay the 25 million pounds and keep Jadon Sancho?
As far as I'm concerned, I think they should keep him. I think 25 million for his quality is good price. So I think they should keep him, because he has this. If he sees competition, he has this potential. Even not about just scoring, but the all-round play. You notice that when Mudryk was available, the competition was
that's the player I've really missed for Chelsea.
Honestly,
people might argue that yes, he's not, he hasn't lived up to expectations, but there are some, one spark of brilliance out of 10 you do give to Chelsea whenever. And you could always see, even when he's missing those chances, reminds me of Fernando Torres when he was at Chelsea. He doesn't allow the noise into his head, comes out to the pitch and plays with his emotions, everything, he really wants to succeed at the club. Unfortunately, that doping test had to just probably at the end of the season we hear what Chelsea have to do with Miyako Modric, but I think to me they will let him move on.
I think they will wait for the verdict.
Are you sure the verdict is not it's not out, and they're just waiting to the end of the season to let it out of the bag?
Investigation going on.
Okay, we'll wait to see that.
All those, he has taken the legal team that helped out with Paul Pogba, and Paul Pogba is back
after about 6 months or 8 months.
18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's see if Chelsea can wait.
But
I
now,
think at the
has
end of the day.
a few months, really.
Wow, beautiful save there from Andre Onana for a second time, cutting off what's it called, Pedro Neto's and shots there. What was that from Patrick Dogu, having all his hands around Pedro Neto? But I think that cross was more of a selfish cross there, not a cross to an inviting teammate here. We're straight into the 37th minute of this encounter. The clock is fast ticking in this one. And it's still 0-0, still nothing to report as it goes in this encounter between Chelsea and Manchester United. And that's a game between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. It's the 64th minute. It's still Aston Villa leading 1-0 in that game against Tottenham Hotspur. Another disappointing performance from Ange Postecoglou and his boys in this encounter. And it looks like, yes, he might be getting his matching orders come end of the season. Probably be sacked by Tottenham Hotspur, because I don't think they'll be waiting to have this man at the affairs come next season.
Postecoglou?
Yeah.
Has he performed badly this season?
Well, 17th position.
But he might be winning Europa.
He might.
Might be winning Europa. He had
I remember
had a lot of injuries.
Even after getting to the final of the FA Cup.
Not FA Cup, League Cup.
Yeah, Carabao Cup, yeah.
Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup is different from Europa League. With Europa League, you can go straight into Champions League.
If he wins the Europa League, it changes the whole thing for him.
Okay, he's left to see if they can win that Europa League. It's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. I don't really understand the confusion between the Chelsea boys there, but the referee will allow this free kick. And it looks like, yes, it's Tosin Adarabioyo, which standing on this ball, and that is a man who is here to make up his mind where his international future will lie. He's probably still waiting for England to drop that call up into his box. But Nigeria has been everywhere trying to get him to switch on nationality to the green and white nation. And yes, going to be a throw into Manchester United. It has really been back to status quo in this encounter. Chelsea is getting to lose a lot of balls in this encounter. Manchester United back in possession. And in the out of defense there is we have it with Lindelof on the ball there, looks inward into the midfield and plays in Amad Diallo, who holds onto the ball for Manchester United, finds himself in an unfamiliar territory this time around. Here's the Manchester United, Luke Shaw with the ball there, we holds onto it and returns it back to the general in the defense there, Harry Maguire plays a beautiful pass inward there, but Chelsea regains possession. Noni Madueke on the turn there, holds onto the ball. He has what's it called, Cole Palmer on his right to drop the ball to Kopama on the ball there. Goes round Lindelof, returns it back into the path of Nani Madueke. Madueke who finds Mark Kukureya. Kukureya returns it back into defense and finds Levekowi. Levekowi straight into the path of Adarabioyo who finds Rhys James, the Chelsea captain, returns it back to Tosin. Tosin finds Levekowi. And it looks like Chelsea stealing passes and Leverkusen with a long one into no man's land. And Manchester United regains possession this time around as they look to attack against the Blues. And that was an infringement on Amad Diallo by Moises Caicedo, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. Well, disappointing first half, no doubt.
Yeah, disappointing. Now when you check the bench,
There's
nothing really. It is just.
Imagine, we've seen 38 minutes. It's very short on target from both sides.
How many shots?
Zero. None for both.
Oh, none. Oh, there was a shot. It was just offside. Maguire placed one into the net.
Yeah, that was a big count.
That was just illegal. And Chelsea has been trying to do crosses. If those counts for shots, Madueke has been doing quite a number of score plays. And Pedro Neto has been sending his own straight to Onana's hands and making the young man a hero here. And making United rethink whether they're going to sell him immediately or not, but I still think he has to leave United, even if they don't offer to sell him. He should go.
All right, straight in the 40th minute of this encounter between Chelsea and Manchester United. This fixture used to be one of those games we look up to, when in the heydays of Chelsea and Manchester United. But these days, it has really turned into one of those, battles, middle teams battle. How well the mighty has really fallen.
Bottom table versus middle team.
Middle team, yeah, if anybody like to call it.
United is bottom table, 16th is bottom table.
One thing I don't understand about that wage structure is that when a player performs well, you reward them. Now, as Osimhen not perform well, either for Chelsea or another team, because when you look at it, the shout of him is about his performances. His goals, 30-something goals.
But I actually feel like there will be a compromise. Chelsea will actually go out all the way to get.
I think Man United is in the picture.
Okay, let's see. But
I think
you have to look
PSG
at Manchester United.
come
Yeah, PSG might come up. PSG might be
because
the biggest. They might be the biggest threat. But I don't really see Manchester United.
They'll be ready to give him that amount.
I don't really see Manchester
How much is he asking for?
He's
400.
He's asking for 250
after
per
tax.
week. No, I think 180 after tax. It's 250. Like
when
Barca
is playing the young,
the total
about
package
250.
after tax should be around, I think it's around 40% for the UK when you're coming in to England. But let's see how it goes. Where Victor Osimhen is going to play his on future next season. Is really in the sky there.
But he really wants to come to the Premier League.
Yes, Chelsea attacking against Manchester United. A chance into the box there, was straight into the path of Andre Onana, the Manchester United goalkeeper. As it stands in this encounter, there's no striker presence for Chelsea in this encounter. And that is one of the reasons why you're seeing them having 0 shots on target.
Instead of him to turn
I don't really know what's Nani Madueke was trying to experiment there. But still 0-0. We're straight in the 42nd minute of this encounter. It has really been a boring affair between Chelsea and Manchester United in this encounter. The 5th position team playing against the 16th position team. And if there's one thing about Chelsea this season, it's struggling against teams lower teams. Yes. We saw Ipswich get a victory over Chelsea. Let me see where else relegated. Yeah, they struggled against Leicester City, and also the last team that Southampton. Probably yes, they also struggled to get a victory over Southampton. And now we have Manchester United, and yes, this is a sight Chelsea fans wants to behold. There's the captain Rhys James, who has been managed almost all season, being on the top there after that tackle from Patrick. He was sandwiched in between the two players there. And the way he landed awfully there, I doubt let's see if we'll be able to continue. There was no contact there. I think he landed awfully there. Awkwardly there. Let's see if we'll be able to continue. I doubt if he can continue.
I think he's hurt his ankle, and he's not going to play this game, and he won't be in the final of the Conference League.
Well, looks like the night is over for the Chelsea captain, Rhys James, who is in a serious, severe pain right there. And the medics are trying to see if they can get the Chelsea captain back on his feet by doubt.
I think they're just trying to find out what's happening. So that's just an examination, not a treatment. Want to check what ligament is torn or
that's not ACL.
It's his ankle.
Yes,
no. ACL is knee.
Okay.
There are ligaments in that place. The
I think
medial,
it is his ankle.
the lateral ligament, and they want to also find out if it's not a fracture or not. So the
Wow.
way he's shifting it, he wants to find out if it's the lateral ligament of the ankle, and or the support one in front. There is a ligament in front as well, which usually gets it when you land such awkwardly.
Okay, doubt if he'll be able to continue this encounter, but the medics are helping him onto his feet there. I think the way he went, oh, that was the beautiful shot we saw earlier on, which
That was
could
a
have
He really
superb-
hard all the time.
yeah.
That was a superb shot, and he played it well.
Mhm.
Just missed the goal net by Whiskers.
Well, straight into the 44th minute of this encounter. It's still 0-0 between Chelsea and Manchester United. And we'll be waiting to see how much minutes will be added by the linesman in this encounter. I was looking at the match statistics. It's 57% of ball possession to Manchester United, while Chelsea are reduced to 43% of ball possession in this encounter. Still no shot on target from both sides in the opening stages of this game. Total shot for Chelsea is 6-1 for Manchester United. Really disappointing affair from both sides. But one thing we know Manchester United for this season is they know how to get those goals when it really matters.
Yeah, they know how to get those goals against the big sides to frustrate big sides this season. But let's just see. Though Chelsea not that big any longer because
Oh, he's
I
back on
want
the
to
pitch. Let's just
yeah,
hope he can
yeah,
continue.
yeah,
But I
let's
think
really
probably they should be withdrawing him, knowing fully whether we have what's it called, or they have a conference league to look forward to.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not really interested in the conference league because it's just like Chelsea
Oh.
going down.
To every touch there. Okay, as Manchester United back in possession, looking to hit Chelsea on the counter. Chelsea regaining possession. It has been a battle of missed passes by these two sides in this encounter. And Marco Correa attacking for Chelsea, drops it onto the part of Noni Madueke, who approaches the Manchester United box there, returns it into the middle of the park, and a shot! And yes, should be the first. Oh, our net!
Would have been off anyway.
Jesus for Christ. Our net was that skied into the tiny head there by the Chelsea of talisman there, Angel Fernandes. What a shot there from Enzo. Yeah, he was in offside position. That would have been offside. It won't have counter. It won't have count for anything. But at least he should be putting that into the back of the net for Christ's sake.
My goodness.
That really summarized the whole of this encounter.
Ah,
But that was also a shabby, save there from the Manchester United, the goalkeeper Andre Onana from that shot. As it stands right now, Manchester United currently sits 15, having played a game more than West Ham. Should this game end this way, they'll hit the 40 points tally in this season. 40 points from 37 matches. Should it end in a draw for Manchester United, is really a disappointing season for the Red Devils. The Devil looks like it's not deviling anymore for this side. And yes, Manchester United in the middle of the park sets a long one, tries to play in his Manchester United teammate, but straight into the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who is going to gather that for the Blues in this counter. We're getting straight into we have 5 minutes additional time at the end of the first 45 minutes. We have another 5 minutes to play in this game. Rich James with the ball there, sends a long one into the parts of Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with an heavy touch there. And here's Chelsea with the ball back in the middle. Is Moises Caicedo, who has been awarded the Chelsea main player of the year for this season. Also, yes, Chelsea attacking right there. Enzo Fernandez on the ball, finds Pedro Neto, who returns it back into the part of the Chelsea captain, Rhys James. Rhys James looks inward into the midfield, finds Moses Caicedo, who returns it back to left by Kowi. Kowi goes out onto the wing and finds Noni Madueke, who has been interesting on the wing for Chelsea, more lively than Pedro Neto, even while playing in an unfamiliar attacking position for Chelsea in this encounter. Yes, back in play in the middle of the park. There is Tosi Adarabioyo for Chelsea. Finds Rhys James, who looks like he's still limping. Probably Chelsea are trying to manage him to the end of the first half. And it's Aston Villa, who has doubled their lead against Tottenham Hotspur in that encounter. In the 75th minute of that game, Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Kamara with the second goal in the 73rd minute. So it remains out this Chelsea game where we are yet to see a goal in the second half. It looks like, yes, the first half will be ending without a goal from either of these two sides. But it's really going to be disappointing if there's no shot on target from these two sides come end of this
there's
first half.
already a shot of target.
Okay.
The one Onana just saved. To
Okay, yeah, that's
Enzo
true.
Fernandez, yeah.
Okay, so we have one shot on target in this encounter. Yes, Chelsea attacking. Pedro Neto with the ball finds Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer with a cross into the
What is
box.
this?
But the touch just too heavy as Marco Correa couldn't get hold of that. And we have to live with all this for the next step about
I
45
think
minutes.
Chelsea has been fortunate or lucky in recent weeks winning quite a number of matches and getting into number 6 position on the
Oh,
log.
it's a corner kick.
They actually don't deserve to be in that position. But they've been fortunate to have won some string of matches and getting into this kind of
But
position.
when you
Because-
say winning
because
string
looking-
of matches as
Yeah,
fortunate,
yeah.
I don't
They've been
agree.
fortunate because just before then they were in a woeful state.
Chelsea was second at some point in this league.
At some point in the league, and at some point they
No,
went
Chelsea
down to
is
number
not
8,
fortunate.
and then
Chelsea-
they had about 3 or 4 wins.
Okay, that's what is really happening there.
Serious battle going on between Colwill
Oh.
and Ojlund.
Oh, he actually took off his jersey.
He took off his jersey.
Okay, let's see. The ball was yet to to get.
How
into
I
the box.
wish the
Yeah,
ball had
probably that'll have
been
been a
taken.
penalty against Manchester United. Yes, back in play. We have a Chelsea corner kick. Goes straight into the last minute of first half additional time. Here's a short corner kick for Chelsea. Cole Palmer on the ball there. He has Casemiro to beat. How do you intend to do that? Casemiro winning possession for Manchester
Looks
United.
like Diallo.
Oh, Diallo, sorry. Winning possession back from Manchester United. Manchester United looking to attack, but yeah, he's on Chelsea winning possession. Pedro Neto trying to find himself into the box there. And that's going to be another corner kick for Chelsea. And you can see Casemiro asking that should have been a goal kick to Manchester United. We are in the last moment of this first half. Probably any moment from now, we'll be seeing the referee calling this game into an half. Chelsea having another corner kick. Ojlund and Colwill having a go at each other again in the box there. Here's a corner kick. And this time around, they got straight for a long one into the box there. And Manchester United will clear their lines. And back in middle of the park here is Moises Caicedo on the ball for Chelsea. And he holds onto it and looks to approach the Manchester United box. And Chelsea looking for one of their last attacks in this first half. And here's a chance for a cross. And Rhys James trying to get across into the box there. And the referee says, I've seen enough of this
Woeful performance
woeful performance
from
in this first half.
for woeful
From these two
teams.
sides, Manchester United and Chelsea. Wow, nothing impressive about these two sides in
Nothing
this first
at
half.
all.
You might.
Yeah, nothing impressive. And when you see it's just the testament of how football can change drastically. Practically 8 years ago, 10 years ago, this would be a marquee fixture, whereby even 4 years ago, thereabout, it's still a mouth-watering fixture because Manchester United was still at least a team to reckon with in the first half of the table. But the two teams has nosedive, and the quality on play. It's not about the names; it's about the quality they possess. It's about the quality they have in their ranks, and I think that the two teams needs to wake up. It is now another wave blowing in the world of football, and they better quickly go with the wave. We can see Real Madrid going with the wave almost immediately and going for Xavi, one of those new breeds of managers that can actually do the tactical and technical aspect of the game right now.
Well,
And possibly add some flair to the game. You need to have flair in the game. When Guardiola started with City and his passing football, tiki-taka, converted, modified, a lot of people in Premiership were like, oh, you can't do that here in Premiership. You can't come here and be successful with tiki-taka. Here you have to play physical football, blah, blah, blah. The guy has won 6 Premierships in his 7 encounters. Until
Not
now,
7,
maybe 8 now.
9.
All right. Is it now
Results.
9?
Yes, Guardiola.
9 Premiership?
No, he has won 6
6
out of 9.
out of
Okay,
9.
yes, 6 out
Oh,
of 9.
wow.
Really,
Oh
that-
well,
that's
what can you
impressive
take from such a coach?
Wow.
And when he's playing a style of football that a lot of people believe are not alien to
But
the
you have to
atmosphere.
talk about how Man City has really supported him financially.
Oh, but well, he came
He-
with his
he-
style.
he
We're talking
spent
about his technique
massively.
here. We're talking about his style.
Getting a right back for 50 million in that year.
Yeah, but
About
we're
8
talking
years
about.
ago is a
Listen,
lot.
you're missing the point here, me. We're not talking of the quality of players because we had all these players around all the time. We're talking about the style of play. His kind of.
What I'm saying is,
flair.
for him to fuse in that style of play, he had to go expensive.
Well, he had to buy the players or develop them through the academy. And coming back to what Shegun asked earlier, how has Barca been succeeding? Or how have they been putting it together without buying so heavy players, right? When Barca, the golden era of Barca, the last one that produced Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol, Piqué, and the rest of them, 80% of the players came from the academy. From Xavi to Valdez to Puyol to Piqué to Iniesta to Messi, 80% of them came from the academy. To Pedro, Pedrito, to the Boyan Krikic at the time, and the rest of them. And look at how those guys carry the team. Barca just had to infuse one or two specialists from time to time. You bring in a Neymar from time to time. You bring in a Suarez. You bring in a Vivia to join the team, etc., etc. So right now, in the last few years, since 2019 or 2020, Barca has been facing some serious financial challenges. The best they could do was look into the academy again and promote some players who had potentials. The first season was with a coach who actually was knowledgeable with the academy, who could use those players, and Xavi. And he did a great job of it. He got the La Liga with those small boys. The following season wasn't that favorable to them. They didn't win much, but they still finished second place. And they were able to beef up the team. And then look at them in the third season. They are not just winning La Liga by chance anymore. They are defeating Real Madrid like every time they face them. You know, to do it and do it well in one season, 4 times in a season, for a star-studded side like Madrid, is actually something to remind. So he talks about their technicalities, he talks about their understanding, their teamwork, their balance. And that is what we're talking about here. So if you have an academy that gives you such a balance, such a coordinated, understanding team, then you have less to worry about when you have crisis. Of course, Xavi left because Barca was not giving him the players he wanted. That's why he made noise and then parted ways with the board. And that's because he believed that with that kind of team, you can't get trophies. But Hansi Flick came in and had a discussion and said, look, I can use these boys. Was hungry for the job. And he has used the boys. It was 3 out of 4 trophies available for him for this season, and which is a fantastic thing. And looking at the injury woes they also had in the season, at the time this was out, at the time a lot of them major players were out. You can see Lewandowski's position missing in the Inter match heavily, and so many options like that. But even at that, they were still able to trounce their immediate rivals, Atletico Madrid. They got it. Real Madrid, they got it, and they were able to sustain the lead. And that's what happens when you actually pay attention to inside the academy and then fringe players.
Okay, let's go back to the EPL as it stands right now. Aston Villa are currently finding themselves in the 4th position. If it ends in that victory against Tottenham Hotspur, so there's really going to be a lot of trouble for the the pack chasing. And as I'm talking about Chelsea, Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest. In the looking at the EPL table going into the the penultimate games for some of this team. Nottingham Forest, as they've played 36 games, so they're going to play their 37th game come tomorrow. But they currently have 62 points. But as it stands, Chelsea might find themselves going back to the Conference League.
Yeah, really possible. No, I think Chelsea has secured a Europa
No,
League.
not secured an Europa spot because 6th position is going to Europa League, and we have the 7th position of going to the Conference League qualification.
Yeah, no, you have
The
to.
winner of FA Cup is going to the Europa League. Or if Chelsea are winning the the Conference League, we then get a automatic straight into Europa League. So it's still a dicey situation.
But the winner of FA Cup may be Man City.
That's if Chelsea
that's if
finds
Manchester City
themselves
wins it.
in 7th position.
Yeah, if they find themselves in 7th
Yeah,
position, it's straight
that's
into the into what's it called
Conference League.
League.
If Crystal
No,
Palace.
but what if they won Conference League?
If
If they
Crystal
win
Palace
Conference
defeat
League, they
Man
go
City.
straight to Europa
Europa.
League.
So they still have a lot of options.
Yeah. Okay, there's still a lot of options for the Blues as it stands right now in the EPL. It's still the halftime break analysis on Premier Sport Fan Center for what we've seen in the first half of that game between Chelsea and Manchester United. It ended 0-0 at halftime. That game between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur seems to have ceased to be a contest, as at the 87th minute, it's Aston Villa leading 2-0 against Tottenham Hotspur. Really disappointing performance of Tottenham Hotspur again on the road.
Yeah, disappointing one. Expectedly though. If you look at the form Aston Villa is at home, they've been really on point this season so far. But their last home game will be against Manchester United, also struggling. So let's see how they make do with that one. But right now, they can at least wait for the result of the game between Chelsea, Man U, and also Nottingham Forest playing this weekend.
Okay, as we're still waiting for second half analysis or second half, of this encounter. We're still looking at it in the first half. Though Manchester United having the better side of ball possession with 54% of the ball, while Chelsea were reduced to 46% of possession in the first half. Yeah, mate, what is your expectations coming into the second half of this game?
Yeah, I just think that the guys should find a way with the not so solid defensive setup, attacking setup on the bench. So I think they can just manage to get a go and defend it. Because with the way it looks, Chelsea have not really created a whole lot of chances like that. But they really, really need to do more than what they've done so far.
Okay, as the dog. What about you, Manchester United? Yes, not really. Also, not a fantastic first half for them. But looking at the statistics this season, after 37 games, they've won 10, drawn 10, and lost 17 this season. Their goal difference currently stands at minus 11. And I can see the laughter from him.
Yeah. The thing is, I've not seen Man U like this forever. As in, this is the worst I've seen United since I've followed football. I don't think they've gone to this level of failure. Minus 11 goal difference, sitting on number 16th position. And that's because Tottenham is giving them the cushion for failure too. I mean, it's awful. It is unimaginable, unbelievable that United will be sitting here and United will be playing against Chelsea and not one shot at goal the whole of the first half. And this is a weakened Chelsea team. This is an underperforming Chelsea team. And they can't even take one shot at goal. It's unfortunate to see United like this. Since the days Ferguson left, we thought we saw the worst at the time when Ole Gunnar was with them.
There was a time we had the Everton Eagles, David Moyes.
Saw
him also at,
Ole Gunnar, and then they balled the man again.
We have Van Dijk also. Van Gaal also. Joined the team.
We actually thought we've seen the worst, like 8th position or 9th position.
Well, I think their best era after Sir Alex has to be Jose Mourinho. Because
I think he won them 2 trophies last season. There's the FA Cup and also the Europa League.
Yeah.
You still ask questions that why should he be sacked at Manchester United?
He even said it when he was asked at a particular interview that the best season he has managed. He said the season he was second on the league with Manchester United, that they don't know what was happening behind the scenes. So I think that now even the owners should at least have a rethink on the direction they've run the club into. I think a whole lot has to be changed about their structure. Now it's not just bad on the pitch. Old Trafford is leaking. A really, really terrible time to be in Manchester United.
Okay, going to the bench of this account, we have Chelsea's bench and Marcos Bettinelli, who is yet to make a competitive appearance for Chelsea since joining. We also have another goalkeeper, Flip Jorgensen, who is the Chelsea second choice goalkeeper. Bernard Bardeshield and Trevor Chalobah, Josh Archipong, Aaron Asamino, Malo Gusto, Romeo Lavia, and Karen Dillsbury. Looks like there's no attacking, player on the Chelsea's bench. And for Manchester United is Antel Ben Yedder, their second choice goalkeeper. We also have Ari Amaz, Tyra Fredrickson, Andre Aiden Evan, Toby Koila, Christian Eriksen, Kobe Mino, Manuel Ugarte, and Alejandro Garnacho, who I think might be that player Manchester United will be throwing into this game to change the face of this one for them.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they still have a better bench than Chelsea.
Yes, they do. They have a better bench. They have a more solid depth in there. But the question is, what would they bring to the table? They play several matches. They've lost 10 matches. I think they've drawn
10. Oh, they are currently drawing 10.
They're drawing 10. They lost about 17 matches out of 34, 35 matches. It's really crazy. And they had all this, and they had all these players.
36
They
matches.
had all these players. So what difference is Ugarte and the rest of them coming to make now?
Mm.
Except Chelsea. I want Chelsea to win this match, really. If
Okay.
you ask me, I want Chelsea to win this match so United can actually see that they need to
And even
to
Chelsea
have a
not doing,
complete
even Chelsea not
overhaul.
doing well. I don't think they deserve a
No,
win
but
in this
Chelsea
case.
decided they are going to build for 2 to 3 years. I think they are still on course. They are finishing sixth or seventh, uh, which is not bad. But come on, you can't be finishing 16th and telling me you are okay because you are winning Europa. And even the Europa, I think Tottenham should just snatch it. So United should know where they sit.
But look at this performance from Tottenham. There's no way we're not going to talk about the Europa League. You are losing to Aston Villa 2-0 away from home, though not really a
And
strong
Kulusevski is
Yeah,
injured.
he's injured. They'll be banking on Solanke, Dominic Solanke.
And
For
Son.
that and the likes of Yumi Son. So a lot of responsibilities on those guys when they face off against Manchester United in the final of the Europa League. Yes, for all Manchester United hasn't really been performing well in the EPL. It has been vice versa in the Europa League. They are unbeaten in the Europa League on their way to the final.
Yeah, it's a cup competition, and you expect things like that to
They're
happen.
unbeaten.
It's just about knock me out and knock you out. There's not much about, oh, if you don't win in regulation time, you can go the penalty route before winning, right there. So I think that is one of those things that it happens. It happens in football, but I still think that Man U doesn't deserve Champions League football next season, including Tottenham. It's just so funny that both of them find themselves.
Okay, the dog. There's no way we won't talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Looking at that type, Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United. This season, the faced off three times, and three times Tottenham Hotspur has defeated Manchester United. Is it a different ball game when it comes to the Europa League final?
I think it will be a different ball game. This is going to be the final of a major competition that will earn either of them a very good ticket, and the ticket which may be a game changer for them at both the boardroom as well as the dressing room as well as Pride. Let's also not forget that virtually all the times they've met, some key players from Tottenham have been on the field. Kulusevski, I know, has been a very good uh, uh, assistant striker for Tottenham, and he has created so many upsets. He has actually scored several goals. Carrying balls from counter attack has been his major role. I wonder who's going to play that role right now. And facing United, that has nothing else to fight for, is as good as they're like 50-50. It's either we die here or we die here. Both of them are just going to die there. So it can go either way. It might just be different from all those earlier encounters for me.
Okay, still after break at the Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Manchester United. We'll go for a quick breather, and when we come back, it's going to be the restart of the second half in that encounter. Okay, anyway, we'll come back to the Premier Sport Fan Center and the restart of the second half in that game between Chelsea and Manchester United. And it's Chelsea, sorry, who has a free kick against Manchester United right there in the 50th minute of this encounter. We've seen 5 minutes of the second half encounter, and we also still have Reece James, the Chelsea captain, still in the starting 11. I would have thought probably Mareshka would have taken the easiest route and replacing the captain. We saw him fall awfully in the first half there, but it's still in this encounter.
Yeah, I think that it's due to the fact that it can be a real big plus going forward for Chelsea, especially with the free kicks and all. He can come in and is the leader on the field, is the captain of the club. So let's see what him staying on can do for Chelsea so far.
And then let's also factor in that the injury might not be as bad as he
We thought.
initially
Yeah, I
portrayed.
remember the likes of what's it called? Didier Drogba. You just see him just fall, and you start seeing all those theatrics on the pitch. And
Tantrums
maybe
and
probably in 3 minutes time, you just see a goal into the back of the net, and you still
By
have thinking,
Didier Drogba.
playing for the next 90 minutes of that encounter. But looking at Reece James, this is a player we all know his injury history with Chelsea. So I think he's a player. Even Enzo Maresca talked about it, that he has to manage Reece James as a Chelsea player.
Yeah, he has to really manage him, especially with the way things has gone with his injury history and all. But a bit that
Actually, they've actually managed him well this
yeah,
season.
they've done well. We saw him sometimes start being withdrawn at halftime. Managing him, letting him grow into the game before. And I think that even if he still plays on, I think Man U would attack.
He has a chance for Manchester
Oh.
United. Would have been a goal for Mason Mount there.
He would have celebrated that
Listen,
goal.
I
Like,
would have really loved to see him celebrate against his boyhood club. But that went way off target. And in the 52nd minute, Amad Diallo, the provider for Manchester United, but that was also a poor finishing, a poor touch there from the England international.
I
They
think
went
he
way
just
off
had
target.
add a little bend on it. So I think that's all he could do at that situation.
Okay, Chelsea will break out from the back in this encounter. Looks like Zoz on the infringement against Manchester United there. And it's going to be a free kick to the Blues at the 52nd minute of this encounter. And the clock is fast ticking. We're still yet to see dangerous attacking threats from these two sides in this encounter. And it's looking like, yeah, we're continuing from where the first half ended.
Yeah, it looks like that.
well.
But so far, let's just see. It's just they've not yet played 10 minutes this second half. So let's see what they will be able to do at the end of the day. But talking about Tyron George stepping in for Jackson, he has really been nowhere to be found. And really
I wonder what
unsuccessful.
happened to Maguire. Why is he not?
He's out injured also.
He's out injured.
Because that could have been a
for
better
months.
replacement
Yeah.
for Jackson.
Magui is out injured. Onkuku out injured. Jackson suspended.
Oh, well, Jackson gets to play
Right,
Conference
but
League
to me,
final
I
against
think,
Betis, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, he's going
Yeah,
to play
he
the
will,
final.
he
I think
will.
Chelsea really
But
appreciate
Jackson's
a
season
draw. A
is
draw in
over.
this game will be appreciated by the Blues.
Even apart from being a draw is nothing for Chelsea in this game because Aston Villa already won. So Chelsea has to win if they want to go to the Champions League next season.
Okay, let's see if
So
Chelsea
let's
can
see.
actually pull that out in this account as was going straight into the 54th minute. And yeah, it's Pedro Neto on the ball. Dogo on him there, but still wins up the ball there. Returns it back to Reece James, the captain. And Reece James looks inward and finds Moises Caicedo in the middle of the park. Returns it back to Reece James, straight into the path of Pedro Neto. Neto will approach straight into the Dogo, but returns it back to the captain. Chelsea looking to build up from the middle right here, and it's Tosin Adarabioyo on the ball. Finds Levi Kowi. Kowi will hold on to the ball. Then drops it straight into the path of Madueke. What was that for Madueke, for Christ's sake?
I think it was a skillful touch.
Okay. Manchester United winning possession. And the way they go into the tackles, they need to be careful. They need to be careful in this one. Yeah, it's another free kick to Chelsea. Lindelof bringing down Marco Correa there. And Chelsea wins themselves a free kick against Manchester United. We've seen 55 minutes of action, 10 minutes in the second half. And still 0-0 between Chelsea and Manchester United right there at Stamford Bridge. They need a victory in this one. And also, Manchester United needs a victory for bragging rights. Who is going to win this? But it looks like all those games that ends in 1-0, just a slim or a
They
mistake.
might
More,
even
more,
end
more
in
like 10 minutes of inaction. I don't know where you're seeing the action. We're seeing inaction here. People here just seem to gather and do their jobs. There's very little passion to it. The passes are inaccurate. Jose Caicedo, Chelsea can lace up 3-4 passes since they started the second half. Look at it. Just 1-2 passes and they lose possession. And the
that's
same
what's
with their
Manchester United
opponents
to
too.
eat on the counter with this very chance
United
for Manchester
attacking and they'll pass a wrong one too.
Yeah, it's Amad Diallo with the ball there. He has a chance to play out beating the shots from Manchester United off target. Bruno Fernandes, as Manchester United are still looking for their first shot on target in this encounter. What a wayward shot there from Bruno Fernandes. I expect to be doing better right there. What a game. Yeah, we've seen 3 shots off target for Manchester United in this encounter. Still 0 shots on target for Manchester United in this game against Chelsea. At
I
least
think
he
it
should be
was-
He should be hitting targets here.
It was like Diallo should have released that ball on time.
Okay.
Put the ball down on time, and it took some time before he could send it in. So
Okay, Chelsea takes the long one there as we approach on the 60th minute of this encounter, which will take us 1 hour of football at Stamford Bridge. Still no good to report. Amad Diallo has a Marco Correa to beat there, but Chelsea return into the middle of the park. Manchester United with another miskilled cross of their own. Bruno Fernandes looks like he's frustrated already in this encounter. 57 minutes of action gone already. It's a throw into Manchester United. They take that almost immediately straight into the paths of Harry Maguire. No, sorry, that's Lindelof. And who finds out Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is having one of a silent game also in this account. I think after coming back from that injury, the explosiveness we've always known of Luke Shaw seems to have been lost.
it needs game time. You can't be out for that long, and you come back being explosive the way you have been. It takes time. The same thing with Amad Diallo. They need time to come back into match fitness. So, I think that Man U are doing a lot better attacking wise than Chelsea.
Amad Diallo with the ball there finds Oshland. Oshland on the ball. What was he thinking of there?
I
Yes,
don't
Chelsea winning the ball back. Rhys James returns it back to the Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who plays it into safety. Doesn't want it to spoil in his hand. Yeah, it's Harry Maguire on the ball there, and goes onto it. Returns it back to the goalkeeper Andrew Nana. Surprisingly, who is keeping a clean sheet also in this encounter.
So far.
Surprising to see these two goalkeepers. Yet to concede a goal. 'Cause if there's one thing two of them knows how to do best, it's always conceding crazy
But
crazy goals
to be
in the
fair
EPL.
on Sanchez, he has been a lot better than Onana.
I don't see him. I
this
don't
past
see him also
series.
better. Yes, Kopama there losing possession.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what he was really trying to do. Get over, trying to see Manchester United also. Bruno. Okay. Yes, Enzo Fernandez on the ball. It looks like it's a battle of losing
I
the ball.
think this is just
for
like
these two
this
sides.
is looking like a
Even
high
the
school,
even secondary
looking like a
football,
high school football,
High school football
very
is more
amateurish,
tidy than this.
This
very
is
amateurish.
nothing to
They
write
ca-
home about.
Wow.
They can't even string 5 passes.
Silent George, yeah. See.
They can't.
What is
Neither of them can string five passes together before losing the ball.
Wow.
And I really appreciate the referee. He's not stopping the game. He's just playing the time out. So keep checking
Alright.
his watch. Let's see how fast we can get off this field.
All right, straight into the 58 minutes of this encounter between Chelsea and Manchester United. It has really been a disappointing 59 minutes we've seen in this game. This game needs to lighten up in the next 30 minutes, or in the last 30 minutes of this encounter. Manchester United with a free kick here, straight into the part of Harry Maguire in the heart of the fence. The only man who has put the ball into the back of the net, but VAR came to the rescue of Chelsea. And yes, Nani Madueke with the ball drops it to Marco Correa. Correa also losing the ball there. Yes, straight into the path of Victor Lindelof, who chased that. And Harry Maguire on the ball for Manchester United. Returns it back to Lindelof. Lindelof finds out the goalkeeper Andre Onana. Onana comes forward with the ball for Manchester United. Sends it long
Onana
ball
wants to drop
into the
stickers.
middle, tries to play in Mason Mount. Mason Mount getting onto that. Manchester United trying to break out. Tosi Adarabioyo wins the ball for Chelsea. Cole Palmer in the middle. I can bet he's going to lose the ball also, but this time around, Chelsea go out wide and finds Nani Madueke. Nani Madueke holds onto the ball, approaches on the Manchester United box, what's going to make out of that, and finds himself in the box there, and he crosses there with that beat for Chelsea. But Manchester United winning that, and the referee spotted an infringement in the Manchester United box. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, and Patrick Dogu being brought down there by Pedro Neto. And you can see him, looks like, yes, Zan Edik for the Denmark defender there.
And I think that was the Neto really had a touch on his head right there instead of the ball. The ball had already left. He would be lucky not to get a yellow card for that.
No, I
one.
don't think it will.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
They both
I don't think that was
contested for
actually
the ball
intentional.
and erroneously.
so 1 hour of football played already at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea nil, Manchester United nil. Really, really, really boring game so far. But let's hope that this game lights up any moment from now.
We have
And
a-
Manchester United back in possession. Bruno Fernandes sending it back to Andre Onana, the Cameroonian international, right there.
okay,
Andrew
it's much-
Onana is trying not to drop stickers. He's working hard, and they keep giving him the ball, and he might just do his thing again.
Okay, and then now with the long one into the Chelsea half there. Ojlon trying to chase that, but it's a goalkeeper to a goalkeeper. Robert Sanchez also returning the favor into the Manchester United half. Back in play in the middle. Yeah, he's Enzo Fernandez on the ball there. Drops it straight into the path of Rhys James. Rhys James returning it into the middle. Finds the Argentine there. And returns it and finds Moises Caicedo, who I think has only been the only shiny light and tidy player in this encounter. Chance for Chelsea with this beat for Chelsea. And that is the goalkeeper coming there. The referee spotted, pointed to the spot. What was Andre Onana thinking there? But I think VAR will be interested
Yeah, we
in
check.
saying that to say if that was a penalty. And it's Tyreek George who went into chasing that ball. But the goalkeeper actually, was adjudged to have committed on Tyreek George. VAR will really be interested in that. Let's see that again. Tyreek George on chasing that. Did he got the leg
see
or got the ball?
outside.
Let's see. No, I don't think he got him. That was a dive. Seems that was a dive to me. Let's see that again. I don't think he has the hand. There's no hand. There was no leg. He was already going to the floor already. I think it's going to be a yellow card on to Tyreek George, and VAR will check that, and I don't think that will be given as a penalty. Looks like a soft one. There was no hand on him there, and the player went down. I was thinking Andre Onana was going to challenge in there, but I think that was more of an experience, play there from Andre Onana.
Yeah, that's an experienced play.
That's an
But-
experience play, but I don't think I don't think there was any hand on Tyreek George there.
There was no contact.
There was no contact. Look at that.
There was no contact.
He
In
was
fact,
he was
Andre
expecting.
Onana touched the ball.
Mhm.
He touched the ball.
He was expecting the contact. He was expecting Andre Onana to
Yes.
to approach him.
And
there.
I think if he had gone for the ball, well, I've got the ball.
Yeah, probably would have gotten the ball.
I think
That
the ball was too
inexperience.
far
That
from
was
him.
inexperience from
Onana had advantage of the ball.
that was
over-
inexperience from Tyreek George. But let's
over
not
George.
veer on the sides with these there. But I don't think I don't think Onana got a hand on Tyreek George right there. The referee has gone to the monitor to have a view of
But you
that
have to look at
and
the elbow
see,
too.
if that
The elbow
was
to
going
the
be
right
given
foot.
as a penalty to Chelsea, or will it be
The elbow didn't make
advantage?
contact
or will it
before
be
he went
advantage
down. He
Manchester
went down
United?
before the contact.
But I'll be expecting the referee to cancel that, or to chalk that off, not going to be given as a penalty to Chelsea. And the referee is back on the speech to make his decision. And since it's not going to be a penalty, and likely it's going to be a yellow card onto the Chelsea player, let's see if that will be given. But that was so inexperienced from Tyreek George.
Yeah, inexperience. I think he could do better. He could have just gone for the ball. And
He could have followed up.
yeah, followed up the ball.
Like I said, another saying, yes, I used the experience.
Now he got to the
He
ball.
was already going. No, he was already going to the ground. He was expecting Onana to actually, get his hands all on him there. And you can see Bruno also asking that probably there should have been a yellow card for the Chelsea player for diving there. That won't stand. That won't be a penalty to Chelsea. It looks so cheap that was what the referee says. And it's here in the 64th minute. We have the first real drama in this encounter. And it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. Not a penalty. Andre Onana, we gather this from Manchester. What is
Okay,
this?
okay, so the inactiveness continues. I thought we were going to have some drama, some action. If there was a penalty, I expect United to wake up and start
Try
attacking.
to come back.
You
I
know.
think Manchester United still stands a better chance of winning this game than Chelsea.
But
But when
Chelsea
you look
has
at when you look
created
at the
better
bench, when you look-
chances.
There's nobody to take it into the back, tuck it into the back of the net. When you look at Manchester United bench, they still have Alejandro Garnacho, who we know can be an impact sub from the bench whenever he comes in for Manchester United. So let's see how this game how Manchester United approaches this game. Seems it's going to be another free kick to Chelsea there, and it's going to be a yellow card on to a Manchester United player. Who's getting that from Manchester United? Looks like it's Mazaori, who is getting that yellow card. We're in the 65th minute, which means we have barely 25 more minutes to go in this encounter. It has really been a madness between these two sides. Nothing to report in this game, and that's the free kick. They're going into UFC, yeah?
This one looks like American football.
Wow. It's really great seeing you, Donny Chelsea Jesse. I don't really know you guys enjoy watching your club play.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That's going to be a free kick to Chelsea in this encounter as we're waiting to see the first goal in this game between these two sides. It has really been a dramatic game and a long one into the balls there from Chelsea. And still Chelsea there gathers that and straight into Marco Correa, who returns it back into the middle. But the referee spotted and says that's offside call against Chelsea. So it's going to be advantage Manchester United right there in the 66th minute of this game. I don't really know what's going through the mind of the fans, but I know all they really want is to find a way and get out of that pitch right now. And, you know, it still boils down talking about Chelsea. And also Manchester United are also in the same, you know, problem. Ruben Amorim and Enzo Maresca, do they deserve more chances?
I think if you look at the two, Ruben Amorim, you have to be fair to him. He has only had one transfer here. So I think another transfer window, then you can judge Amorim. But Enzo Maresca has had a full summer and another January transfer window to prepare. And this is what he could come up with. But you just have to think about Chelsea too, going the younger route. So young players need time to gel. But you cannot undermine what Enzo Maresca has done so far. I think he has done a good job so far, but not an excellent job.
The doc, is it fair we, you know, put on the criticism on the table of Enzo Maresca, knowing that when it comes to transfer, it all ends on the tables of the sporting directors at Chelsea, who, you know, who throw the shots of who they are going to get.
Yeah, but so I'm going to exonerate Enzo Maresca right now, and I'm sure the board is not looking at him.
I think they are looking at him.
According to
you got that news that they are going to reevaluate his performance at the end of this.
Yeah, but even if they do, it wouldn't have been termed poor, because at the beginning of the season, you remember, I think the board gave him about 2-3 years to build a new team.
Even this
Hence-
guy, even Potter was giving almost
Pochettino, Potter was given, but Pochettino came in at the beginning of the season. But it was given too. And the hierarchy said they didn't like the way Chelsea was playing. They want the bread and butter Guardiola way of playing football, and they don't want to spend.
Enough. I don't really want them to sack Enzo Maresca.
So I don't
They will
think
come back
sacking-
with another.
I don't
maybe
think
like
sacking
Thomas Frank.
Maresca is the way forward, because he's been able to use these young boys. A lot of them are average players. You have just 2 or 3 who are standard players.
There's no standard player against Chelsea.
This is
I
not
think
just
Kopama is not a bad
They've
player.
turned Kopama also back to an average player.
I didn't turn him.
This is
He's
horrible.
just what he
Horrible
is.
sight to see.
He just performed a bit, and
Even Pochettino's Chelsea that we were
No, it was more
complaining
dramatic
last
than this.
season.
We saw the Chelsea against Manchester United last season. You know, that late drama in that game was really, you know, a beauty to behold in the eyes. And yes, our Chelsea back in possession. We're straight into the 68th minute of that encounter. Still notice a slow game to report in that encounter. Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper, finds Rhys James, who surprisingly has played on 68th minute of this encounter. Here's Moises Caicedo in the middle of the park, tries to play in. Cole Palmer will get onto that and tries to
Kopama again. Why is he complaining? He better start marking.
As a Manchester
Give the
United,
boy
Amad
away.
Diallo find himself in the box there. That should be a penalty, but the referee is not giving that and says it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea and a yellow card to Amad Diallo there. Bruno Fernandes complaining. I think that complaint has to be that Terry George wasn't given a yellow card, for his own dive the earlier on. Let's look at that again. VR might be recalling him to see that wasn't the penalty. He also dived there. He was expecting Moses. I don't know how those players actually reason. He was expecting Moses Caicedo.
He was expecting the tackle.
The tackle there, and he just went on flying even without tackling. You can see the referee saying, yes, that should have been a penalty. Emotions in the game of football. Amad Diallo getting a yellow card, which is the 3rd yellow card we've seen in this encounter. One to Mazauri, the other to Bruno Fernandes, and also Casemiro are the 3 players on yellow card in this encounter. Still
Okay,
no substitution.
so it
Right
looks,
now we have that substitution for Manchester United.
yeah, so it looks like United is
being withdrawn in this encounter, and we'll be saying what's it called? Alexandro Garnacho being thrown into this encounter.
And
Ugarte
Ugarte.
also being thrown in the middle of the park as Casemiro has also been replaced in this game. So right now, probably we'll be seeing a new, a fresh legs coming into this game and attacking for Manchester United against Chelsea.
Yeah.
So if you want to be critical, really, Garnacho is somebody that brings a lot more to the table than the Mount was removed, and Garnacho plays outright, and you can see some actions. You're going to look and see some actions from the left wing forward right now, and Casemiro, we know he's been getting rather old and weak in passing and marking. So let's expect Ugarte also to add some value to United as it is. But that might not change much if the center doesn't hold. And I don't see the center changing much as well.
You know, the surprising thing is why bench Chaluba in a
Right,
game
those
like
hasn't
this?
those hasn't done bad in this encounter.
But there's something Chaluba brings going forward. That energy, that bite, that aggressiveness. Tosin doesn't have that aggression.
As Charles is changing his position straight into the path of Pedro Neto, who brings that down. He has Patrick Dogu to beat there and still holds on to the ball. Finds Rhys James, the captain. Rhys James in the middle of the park. A chance for Chelsea. And the cross that should be it. And it's
And
the
it's a
goal. We
goal!
have the opener, Marco Correa. With the Chelsea goal in this encounter. What a goal. What an unlikely source. And for the Chelsea goal. And after 78 minutes, as Chelsea was broken the deadlock at the Stamford Bridge. Why are they celebrating?
And now you're going to see the
Let's
impact
see
of James here. You can see what Captain James can bring to the table. Look at the way he
Let's
turned
see
with the ball, and he plays a wonderful squad play
I think
into,
I'll wait
into
for
dangerous
VAR.
position.
I'll wait for
No, there's no
VAR.
need to VR or anything. The guy ran into the ball and nodded into the post. It's not an offside. It's a beautiful cross, a beautiful goal. And that was a lot of credit has to go to Rhys James here for that cross. That score play was just top notch. All you need to do is just make a contact. Take a look at it. Look at his turn. Take a look at that turn.
Beautiful turn. There's
And
no
then he
offside
sends it
here.
That's
Wow.
not
And he actually
Beautiful
picked this
goal.
head
And
up.
give it to Cucurella the finish.
Yeah, you have to give Kukureya there. Beautiful finish there.
The way he
Sets
attacked
Andre Onana
the ball.
back to where he
Yes,
was
a
coming
lot of
from.
shot.
And it seems like that is one thing you get from Rhys James. Yes, he knows how to get those balls onto the air. Garnacho being turned there. And
It's like he had already seen Cucurella there. He just went for the turn. And
wow, planted that header
The
beautifully
finish.
were there into the back of the net. At the end of the day, we have the first goal in this encounter and took Chelsea 71 minutes as the Stamford Bridge to break the deadlock. 1-0 as it stands right now. Let's see if they can finish this game this way. I think we should be seeing more life into this game right now.
And I think Lavia needs to come in because it's easy to defend 30 minutes or 25 minutes of football.
And knowing fully well that you're playing against Manchester United,
Yes.
side that knows how to come back and win games from losing position.
Yes.
Absolutely, United will come in with all the packs they have. They'll possibly introduce one or two more players who can do the run. Garnacho, you will see doing more runs, and Amado Diallo will be doing more crosses. You're going to see a lot more of Harry Maguire playing the number 9 going forward, because what else is there to lose? Why keep him in the bench? So when they go forward, Maguire is going to try and nod, and he has got a lot of goals from that position. But if Chelsea can get the second one,
Tyreek George,
Oh my
how
God.
on
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
None-
Nani Madueke there.
On his strong foot.
and that will have just sealed it.
That should have sealed it for Chelsea. But luckily, Nani Madueke says no. He's going to
What is that?
unseal that for Chelsea and not put that into the back of the net. What was that wasteful?
And it was on
waste
his
there
strong
for,
foot.
the
On
Chelsea
his
player?
strong
You would have
foot.
expected better there. Oh, just miskilled that.
That is a terrible
Disappointing one
miscue,
there for-
unforgivable.
He saw the manager put his hand on his head. They expected Madueke.
What is that?
Madueke being Madueke, actually.
Honestly.
Yes,
terrible.
Manchester United will be thanking the stars that didn't go into the back of the net. Yes, Chelsea will attack again against Manchester United, looking to get on that goal. And yes, Madueke charging forward there, finds Marco Correa. Marco Correa drops it into the path of Cole Palmer. Chelsea losing possession. Manchester United we approach an attack against the Blues in the 74th minute of the second half. Straight back into the hands of the Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, who gathers this and holds on to that. He's not in a rush to drop that out. And it looks like the MPFL tactics now everywhere now. Okay, back in play is the Chelsea goalkeeper. And also talking about the MPFL, congratulations to Remo Stars,
Yeah.
who have been confirmed as of the Nigerian Nigerian Premier Football League. They keep on changing it. There was a time it was
Yeah.
Nigerian Professional Football League. Now it's
Yeah.
Nigerian Premier Football League. We don't know what name they'll be giving them next season, but congratulations to Remo Stars and to the owner, Mr. Soname. That was,
And they just bagged
And
210 million naira.
team.
Yeah, the joy I have is that a privately owned club has won the league after so many years.
So many years.
Yeah, so the backing of the government is different from when it is privately run, and I think this will encourage other private owners to actually do more and have a proper structure. We saw how he went at it, built a proper stadium, he built facilities to groom the guys, and they are coming in with the goodies. And one thing about that team is that even if they bench the whole first team, the second team will come.
Even beyond limits itself is good
My
enough to
goodness.
play, in the MPFL. And you look at the number of players and the amount they're selling this talent out of the shores of the country. I really can't wait to have Sporting Lagos back in the MPFL, because I think that's another well-driven team.
Yeah,
It didn't really start well for Remo Stars also when they started 10 years ago. I remember them
It
going
was
down
rough,
to relegation. MFM had to go into a station also.
Yeah.
I remember them playing at the Agege Stadium. But let's see, we'll be expecting more
but
private owned
I
clubs.
think Doma too is one private.
Yeah, Doma started brightly last season.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, they just collapsed. It's not always easy running a club in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Because
And also,
they don't have the financial muscle to at least, the tipping system.
I don't really know
just
that. Okay, 4 teams will be relegated from the MPFL, and one of them two has been confirmed. That is Sunshine Stars of Akure, and also Lobby Stars of Makurdi. They both have been confirmed to relegate from the Nigeria Premier Football League. So there's still much to say. Ikorodu United are also challenging to qualify for continental football in just their first season, and that is another private-owned club who are doing great in the MPFL. It's really going to help them should they qualify for the continental.
I
So
think
always the
other
big money there.
states should go the route of Lagos State, who refused to have a state-run club at the end of the day.
I think the last time they owned a club, probably Julius Berger was co-owned by the Lagos State government, and probably
I think it was
It was actually Julius Berger originally,
The
but
current-
the
okay.
Lagos State government bought into it at the time Julius Berger wanted off. That was in the late 80s. Eventually, when defunct, I think early 2000, Julius
Yeah,
Berger
yeah.
still won the league in 1998.
because I remember in the early 2000 when Rashidi Yekini had to come back to play for Julius
For
Berger.
Jay Berger.
So we really love to see that Lagos Big Derby come up very soon, and also appealing to the Lagos State government. We need more stadiums away from the Mobolaji Johnson Stadium. That stadium is looking like a makeup being washed off the face of a lady right now. We also work on the Agege Stadium and probably Teslim Balogun. Yes, there's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
rehabilitation going on, renovation going on Teslim Balogun, and probably just find a way to get hold of the football pitch on the national stadium. That's the face is just wasting off.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah,
but the
the-
national
for-
stadium is a federal-owned stadium, so there's a little to what Lagos can do about it. But Teslim Balogun is where they can do much, and it needs a lot of fixing, and they need to do a lot better than they've done so far.
Yeah, so National Stadium was actually killed by all these events,
Yeah.
at a point in time. Almost all crusades in Nigeria held at the National Stadium. Almost all the NASFAT, almost all the big events, society events happened there. So people were always digging into the ground, putting tents and canopies, and then the field got the bad of it. But after some time, because it was controlled by the federal government, Lagos State had very little, just like Yemi said, very little stake to say about it. And then an agreement was reached actually at a point in time between the Lagos State and the Federal Ministry of Sports, and
because I know
for the
First
control
tried-
of the main pitch
First
of
tried to get it,
national-
and they also tried,
yeah.
getting the main
So
pitch.
whenever they reach the agreement, it still comes back to the next Minister of Sports, and
There's a chance for
whatever.
Manchester United to get an
Oh, that was
equalizer.
a beautiful
save
shot.
there from the Chelsea goalkeeper.
Beautiful shot from
Beautiful
Diallo.
shot there from Diallo. Beautiful save from the Chelsea goalkeeper. It's a corner kick to Manchester United right there in the 80th minute of this encounter. So we have 10 more minutes to play in regulation time. Manchester United knocking on the doors and looking for that equalizer in this encounter. They know how to play the late drama games. And also talking about the National Stadium, I'm a big fan of the federal government, going into concessions with that stadium. They can't manage that stadium anymore. When was last time we had anything meaningful, happening in the away from the amateurs? We'll go there to probably athletics, we still have boxing and some probably tennis going on right there. But I think there's a need for concession.
Yes, there should be. Actually, that's the best way to go. Government has no business doing business, and government should just keep a stick and allow people or public to buy into any particular business venture or public venture. It has a lot of value to it. You could see that demonstrated in a lot of infrastructures developed by. Take a good look at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, local airport. It was concessioned to by Courtney in 1999 or 1998. A lot were done on that road. The road from Ikeja down to the airport was actually done by Courtney. The toll was set up by Courtney. MM2 was built by Courtney, and it changed the face of traveling totally, within the country. And unfortunately, they still haven't considered the international airport. They're running it. They're still trying to run it. But it doesn't work when federal government runs it, because there is a lot of corruption in the system of Nigeria. And there's no gainsaying in that. There's no overemphasization of that. There's so much corruption. There's so much hidden things there. They need to get their hands off and concession these things. Let them be profitable. Wale Babalaki is making a lot from the airport. Federal government is benefiting a lot also from returns. And the passengers are happy to use the road and to use the international airport. The same thing can be done to the stadium, and Lagosians and people around are going to enjoy it. National Stadium can be brought back to glory. Why do we have to keep going to Akwa Ibom to play Nigerian national matches? It is embarrassing and absolutely uncalled for. You are going to land in Lagos or Abuja, and then you start flying or touring down to Akwa Ibom, which is one of the issues and reported by the what's it called, the Libyans at the time. They had to land here, they had to travel by road here. What's all that nonsense? When we have a national stadium here, a monument that was like the joy of the whole West Africa at a point in time. So
when not only Lagos, when the Abuja Stadium,
Even the Abuja
was
Stadium is
launched,
almost the same.
it was the
They're having the
third
same problem.
ultra modern stadium in the whole world.
We're having almost the same
And
problem.
to
also with
see the
Abuja Stadium.
decline, I think this is it. We have to just go the way of Lagos State. Let every government stop running football teams. Let them give it to the private and provide enabling environment. Just provide enabling environment. What is enabling environment? Give us fields, stadiums, roads to link to the and security. And you will see that Nigerians can thrive. If you hear how this new Lagos club that got relegated last
Sporting
season,
Lagos.
Sporting Lagos, is being run and they are running on profit. The fans have a special place, VVIP. You pay a whole year ahead, 500,000 plus or thereabout. I can't remember right now. But with the way it is run, like that club, imagine all Nigeria. Okay, just imagine 60,000, or let's just come down to 10,000 people in a stadium. Look at the market advantage. Look at
the stadium is not up to 10,000 capacity.
maybe 3,000. Maybe
Which stadium?
Obolaji Johnson, I think it's about 8,000. to
8,000.
7,000.
Yeah.
But just like 8,000. Testing Balong should be about
About
12.
30,000.
That's about 30,000.
No, it's not. The sleep is not 30. The sleep should be around 15 to 20. Because what's it called? Akwa Ibom is 30,000 capacity.
So National Stadium should be about.
50 or 45, 50,000.
I think it's about 60,000. You know.
Maybe the
About
National
50,000.
Stadium is not being kept well, but you can join us on Talk Sports when we dissect every issues about national team, Nigerian national team. Straight into the Chelsea Manchester United game, we've seen one substitution for Chelsea in this encounter. Romy Lavia has been brought in, and Tyreek George been withdrawn in that encounter by the Chelsea manager. Manchester United has also made two substitutions of their own. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, been withdrawn for Mino in the middle of the park, and also Luke Shaw been withdrawn for Evan. Can Evan take Manchester United to Evan in this encounter? We have about 7 more minutes to see if that is going to happen, but it has been a hard labored game for Chelsea in this one. They currently lead by a slim lead 1-0 in this encounter, with the Chelsea winger talking about Noni Madueke presented with a very beautiful chance to win it or wrap it up for Chelsea. But actually sky that into the air. And yes, Chelsea in possession right there in the 85th minute of this encounter. Can they get one more in this one, or will they be hanging on for a slim victory over Manchester United in this encounter?
Yeah, so it's Chelsea in possession with James. We'll find Pedro Neto, who sends it straight to Enzo, who will give him a 1-2, but they pass too much weight on that one, and he ran straight out for a try. You can see the Manchester United owner sitting in the stands.
Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe not looking so impressed like that. Who can blame him? But I still think that I have to question the appointment of an inexperienced manager, in the middle of the season to stabilize a huge team like Manchester United. I think there is an error there.
Okay, talking about Ratcliffe, we have done better as a Chelsea owner. Now, what is doing at Manchester United?
I think Chelsea has done better.
No, I'm talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because I will breeze this question. I remember when Roman Abramovich and the board were trying to sell off Chelsea during that issue. They had to. There was a time Sir Jim came in with a late bid, trying to outbid what's it called, Todd Boyle, Cossetum. But at the end of the day, the Chelsea board had to just sell off the club to what's it called, Todd Boyle. So I'm asking, looking at Sir Jim and the way they've handled Manchester United, would they have done better being a Chelsea owner?
But when you look at it, Chelsea has had more time than him. He just took over last year, and Chelsea has had, I think, 2+ seasons now, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that if you want to juxtapose, I think it's not yet strong enough time to do that. And
It's full of drama. We're straight into the 87th minute. I can see the dog. He's not used to this type of football. He's not used to seeing players play like this. Yeah,
I'm not used to this kind of football.
Yamal, on the ball.
When you watch the kind of league I follow, and the kind of players and the kind of techniques they play, you'll be disappointed with what United and Chelsea are doing here. They're not even living up to their minimum they've done before. It looks like they're just playing this match to fulfill all righteousness. The players are not putting their backs into it. The ones that are putting their back are over putting it. They keep making errors, stepping on balls. Even the so cold Palmer is not even cold anything. They just it's ice tonight. He's not doing anything. The only people I think that have done anything in this game has been Reece James and Marco Corella
how long? 88 minutes?
for the assist and for the goal. That's all.
All right, straight into the 88th minute of that encounter between Chelsea and Manchester United. It's still a slim lead for Chelsea. Manchester United starting everything as quick as possible from the back as they look to attack against Chelsea in the dying embers of this game. Manchester United in possession of the ball. Still also Mazzari. Are you defending that? Mazzari just drops it straight into the path of his teammate, and Chelsea tries to regain possession. Yes, and Chelsea back.
This is just like high school football, junior high school. Let's be honest.
Yeah, mate, I don't really know how you guys enjoy your club.
Our club, but not mine. But I don't understand. The Chelsea I fell in love with, it's just
What
like
is
the
this,
attitude
for
that
Christ's
disappeared. This is appalling. This is terrible. Horrible sight to see of a football game.
Harry Maguire.
You know,
I thought Maguire would have gone up front and played 9 right now to try and get another goal.
I need to ask the doc.
Yes, please.
What do you think was in the mind of Maguire when he said that pass to the try?
Maguire doesn't think. He just plays. That's what I noticed about him. He uses his instincts. Whatever comes to mind, he just does. And that's how he can sustain himself. Because if he starts thinking, he might get caught and be dropping stickers like Onana.
I think even Man U has surrendered this game.
Yeah,
They're not playing as if
They're
they
not
want to
fighting. They're not fighting for it.
All right, straight into the 89th minute of this encounter. Still Chelsea leading 1-0 in this game against Manchester United. That's going to be a free kick. Evan going crashing straight into Cole Palmer there. As the
And
Chelsea
Evan
free kick.
decides.
Oh.
Evan deserves a yellow card here. Evan should be cautioned.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to caution Heaven. Okay, let's call God to caution this Heaven.
Guys, and Chelsea back in possession there. Neto's trying controlling that straight into the path of the Manchester United player. Manchester United through Evan there and comes forward to attack against Chelsea. Evan drops it straight to Lindelof. Is that Lindelof? Okay, yes, that was Lindelof there. Manchester United approaching the Chelsea half here. Chelsea regaining possession. Referee says that was.
Please, has anybody seen
That should
Bruno
be a yellow card
Fernandes
too.
lately?
He has been withdrawn.
Ah, has
It's
to be.
going to be a yellow card. So the Manchester United midfielder there. Talking about
Ugarte.
Ugarte there. And you can see the referee actually had to jump into it so that Chelsea players won't go into a fight, into a brawl there. I can see Colwill interested in fighting.
Ooh.
Pricing. Is that not going to look more than a yellow card here?
I don't think he
Let's
made
see if we are
contact.
rechecking
I don't
that.
think he made contact.
I think
that
he
was
brushed-
just
he
the
brushed
same.
him
He
there.
just brushed just a little.
Okay,
Not
straight into
a
the
full
90th
squad.
minute of this encounter between Chelsea and Manchester United, which will be having about 5 more minutes additional time being added by the fourth official, or even more than that, 7 minutes additional time. Yes, we had a VAR reviews during the game, during the course of the second half. That penalty that was reviewed, and we also have lots of time wasting in this encounter. So 7 more minutes to play in this encounter. Chelsea will be making another substitution. Pedro Neto
for
being withdrawn.
Gusto.
Gusto, and it looks like here's the Chelsea manager is going to defend with
I
all
thought-
his life.
I
in
thought
the
it was
last, 7 minutes of this
explosive,
game.
explosive, explosive.
There's been nothing explosive.
I think for Chelsea, 3 points is very
And I
explosive.
think Neto is working.
And all
too
Chelsea
fast.
fans on the field that played for ticket will be so happy to get the 3
I
points.
can't be on that pitch and be happy. Like seriously.
The 3
No,
points
but
is
you
good
know
enough for them.
sometimes,
Honestly,
when
that brings Chelsea back to number 4, I think.
Yeah.
So
number 4.
number 4. So they pushed down Aston Villa, pushed down Man City. So Man City has to fight their way back
Yeah,
in
yeah,
their
yeah,
next
number
match,
4,
and they
yeah.
can't play until next week because of their
On Tuesday.
FA encounter on
Wednesday.
Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow. And the fans can join us right here at the Premier Sports Fan Center. Crystal Palace will be taking on the former Premier League champions, Manchester City. 4:30 p.m. For that one. And the long ball cleared by the Manchester United defender, Harry Maguire. I think he looks tired. He looks so tired or burnt out right there. And Chelsea has a throw-in in the second minute of additional time right there. You can see the Chelsea manager trying to tell the fans to cheer up the guys on the field. But you have to give the fans something to cheer if you want them to cheer up, rather than just they will cheer up naturally. And it doesn't look like Chelsea.
But seriously, I
has
don't really know how
really
it
given
goes
them
to the
something
board, to the fans, and ask them to cheer up. This what's it called? This performance from the Chelsea guys in this encounter really disappointing one to me. I'm talking about Chelsea, but we still have about 5 more minutes to play in this game, so there's still everything to play for in this one by Manchester United. What was that from Evan? Evan going into tackles again.
He just goes into tackles. I think he needs to calm down. He needs to calm down. Yellow card to him. That's an unnecessary tackle. I think the Chelsea player still needs to be careful. And I don't think Chelsea has gotten a yellow card in this encounter.
Yeah, there's no yellow card for Chelsea in this game.
Ooh, I think that's a red card.
Let's see if we are interested in checking
I
that
think
tackle
that's
from
a red
Evan
card.
there.
Look at that
Went
full
into
stop.
Wow.
That's a red
into
card.
the Chelsea.
This is the
defender
second
there.
time Heaven will be doing such.
I think VR should check that.
Yes, they should, and they should send Heaven back to. No, VR should check it too. It should get a red. It was a full stud,
That's a full stop.
and it was directly.
And here also we having the free kick for Chelsea. And VR still having a check on that tackle from Evan there. I think he has been let off there. It says that is not going to what? That won't be what? A red card or a yellow card, I think. Also,
It's a yellow card.
it was yellow card already.
Given a yellow
Yes,
card.
that is it. Yellow carded. Evan being shown a yellow card by the referee, who says he's not scared of Evan. Right here on the speech, it's Evan on 8, not Evan above 8. It's going to be a free kick to Chelsea in the 4th minute of additional time. And a chance will they be sending this into the box, or will they be going straight into the corner flag to try and keep this safe? Which one will you prefer?
I don't think there's anybody in that box that can convert it. So they
So
better
just-
keep
they
it
just
to
keep
the
it safe.
side. Yeah.
Again, I see it. Yeah, straight into the 5th minute. 2 more minutes to play for Chelsea. And 2 more minutes for them to get a famous victory against Manchester United. This time around, it's Rhys James who wins Chelsea a corner kick. It was Alejandro Garnacho who deflected that off. And it's a corner kick to Chelsea in the 5th minute. I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester United just gets a go at the, at the death of it.
I don't think United will get anything. It looks like the match will just end on this side, and they will just keep talking, and the referee will get tired and blow his whistle for the end of the game. Kopama might get himself a
card.
yellow here. He's
Yeah.
getting it. Yes, he gets one. That was very silly of him.
All right, straight into the 96th minute.
He
1
better
more
not
minute
get
to play
another
there.
one.
You shouldn't be getting angry there. That's
And
what,
I
the
love
captain is
what
telling him there.
Rhys James is doing. At
Yeah,
least
trying to
calming
keep it
them
calming
down.
You know, I think at the start there was times when the Chelsea manager talking about Enzo Maresca was talking about Rhys James needing to grow, you know, in terms of leadership. And I think since
has
coming back
grown,
from
he
India, he
has
has really
responded,
grown.
yeah.
By talking about
He has
leadership
grown, yeah.
qualities.
And another player that has grown to has to be Enzo. He has
Mhm.
grown in the leadership role. You see him shouting on the boys.
What
What
is
is this?
someone gonna go kick to Manchester United? we're straight
Obama
in.
better leave the line.
You know, just last week,
Yeah.
about this time, we just had wonderful experience watching Champions League.
Mhm.
Players, clubs that deserve to
It
be
was
called
in the
champions.
Champions League was in on Friday.
No, I see just a few days, you know,
Okay.
from here. You know, you had matches that were really passionate, challenging with the goals and all the counter attacks and attacks, and people were like, "Wow, wow, wow! Football can be so interesting." And just 1 week and a few days after that, we're experiencing this absurd performance.
Okay, here's a free kick to Manchester United. A chance for them to nick it at the end of the day and get 1 point to share the spoils in this encounter. Who is going to Rose highest get this goal for Manchester United? It's long one into the Chelsea half. Or the Chelsea box there. Disappointing one from Manchester United. Marco Correa will chase this. He has a lot of chasers going against him there. He has back into the hands of the Manchester United
And these
goalkeeper.
boys are coming
And
out.
straight here. Oh, beautiful one there from Andre Onana. Will this be an assist for the Cameroonians? Sends a long one back into the Chelsea half. And Manchester United has a chance. Alejandro Garnacho on the ball. They approaches the Chelsea box and finds himself into the box. Yeah, might just be a chance for Manchester United. Late dramas at the Stamford Bridge. Will it beat? But Chelsea wins that in the middle of the park. Cole Palmer leading the charge for Chelsea. Yeah, might just be a chance for Chelsea to attack and straight into the part of Malo Gusto is not a runner. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. And this just shows how the dramas we've seen in this encounter. From defending to attacking. I lost the ball.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, Manchester United.
What a
returns
joke.
Back into the centre half. And we are hanging out to see if Chelsea will be up.
What is the
getting
referee
this
going to
2
do
points,
about this?
And we are
Don't
straight
kill
into
us.
the 7+ minutes already.
And it
And,
doesn't look
many
like
minutes
even
from now, we should be
Manchester
seeing
United wants
this
to
game
equalize.
off in this encounter. Manchester United still presented with a chance there. And what's that?
A Chelsea fan ran to the field.
How on it? I was putting on a Chelsea jersey.
This kind of game.
You can see Kukureya asking that while we're playing above the 7 minutes additional time, the referee is still interested in this game being going on between Chelsea and Manchester United. It's 1-0 at the 78th minute. It's always a minimum time, not a maximum time
yeah.
in a game of football. So you can understand why we've seen more than 7 minutes as been prescribed by the fourth official in this encounter. Manchester United having a chance from a drop ball situation there. And I think this should be one of the last moments in this encounter. Amad Diallo with the ball drops it straight into the path of Garnacho. Garnacho approaching the Chelsea box as his teammates, his Argentine teammate to beat there. Chelsea regains possession. Enzo sends it into the middle of the park. Here's Chelsea approaching, holding on to the ball there. Lavia and sends it straight into the path of his Chelsea teammate and back into the Manchester United half. And yes, Andriana now comes out to gather that for Manchester United. This should be it. And any long kick. And that is the final whistle. It's an hard-fought of victory for Chelsea, no doubt.
It's a hard-fought victory. And one thing I noticed is that any game that Marco Carella gets the goal, the game Chelsea most likely will end up winning.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I have to tell you, I've not had this kind of experience.
What are they celebrating?
Not had this kind of experience for a long time. But thank you for having me on the show. Good night for me.
Okay, full time at Stamford Bridge, just 1, Manchester United 0. Marco Correa with the winner in a game that barely sparked, but the Blues won't care. 3 points and 1 step closer to the Champions League for United. Another night to forget in a season they've already, or rather erased. Chelsea survived. Manchester United stumbled. The story of a season told in
Chelsea
90 minutes
was
a game
lucky.
of football. And I think we have to say our goodbye now.
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Join us again tomorrow and the day after. For me, it's a good night. Thanks.
Okay, that's about how much we can take on Premier Sports Fan Center. And it's Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0 at Stamford Bridge. So we come away again tomorrow. It's bye for now.